Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 2 for Week 1 of the OP10 Meta, where I play Green Yellow Yamato versus Yellow Katakuri. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Okay, we've got game number 2. I'm playing Green Yellow Yamato versus Yellow Katakuri. Before I press play, I can see that this recording is 22 minutes long, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ×2 this, and I'll try to just pause when I see something I want to talk about, and then press play again. So let's get to it. This match was the longest match of the night for me. The player I played against was a fairly new player, so he took his time, trying to understand some cards and thinking about his moves. Which, I kind of prefer that, being able to take your time and do what you want to do. So, give us a moment here to set up. And while we're waiting, actually, you can see that in this second game, I kind of went for a higher angle view with my camera. Let me know if you like this better than the more closer POV one. But this one's also kind of nice. I think it's just a little bit harder. Like just now, we're doing the dice roll. I rolled a 3 and he rolled a 6. So he gets to pick. Thinking about what he wants to do. And I believe he decided to go second. So, alright, let's pause in a second here. Once I finish shuffling my hand. Alright. Perfect. Pause here. Let's look at my first hand. We've got 3 cost Mihawk, 2k counter. 4 cost Nekomamashi, 1k counter. We've got the new event from OP10. This is 4 cost Damned Punk. And we've got, after that, Hody Jones. And probably my most favorite card in the Yamato deck. It's probably my MVP, 2 cost Tonoyasu. He decides to go for the mulligan, so I cut his deck. And I decide to keep it. So let's look at the hand again. I flashed the camera there for a brief second. There we go. So the reason why I kept this opening hand is kind of the same reason as game number 1. We've got Hody Jones. It's my late game boss card, so seeing it in my opening hand is really comforting. Don't need to try to search for it. The other reason is, compared to game number 1, we at least have a 2k right there, a 1k, a 1k right here on Tonoyasu, and on Nekomamashi. So I just have a little bit more counter in hand compared to my first game. But also, Tonoyasu is one of my most favorite cards to start out with Yamato. If you don't know what that card does, let me pull it up on screen. And let me find it on the side for myself here. This card says, activate main. You may trash this character. Up to one of your Land of Wano type leaders or character cards gains plus 3000 during this turn. So for 2 Dawn, I can give my leader plus 3k. Imagine that on turn 2 when I'm at 3 Dawn. So if I have 3 Dawn, I can play, 2 Dawn for Tonoyasu, giving my leader plus 3k, and then take that last Dawn, attach it for another 1k, making my leader a total of 4k. So all of a sudden on turn 2 for me, first attack, I can do a 4k double attack, which is insane. So Tonoyasu is one of my favorite openers. And so because of those reasons, Hody Jones, Tonoyasu, and some decent counter, pretty good hand. I'm going to keep it. yeah, right here, he was questioning how to set his life, but fist bump, and we get the game started. I go 1 Dawn, nothing to do here, pass. He goes to his first turn, 2 Dawn. He also passes, I draw, and I drew a Nekomamushi. I'm at 3 Dawn. Alright, so here, I decide to just do a 8k double attack with my leader. So I attach my 3 Dawn, and I think the main reason why I did that was because I'm hoping to use the Tonoyasu later. I could have guaranteed a higher swing, and with a 9k swing, he would have had to given up 2 2ks and a 1k, which is at minimum, which is 3 cards in hand. But I think I'm trying to keep a healthy hand size for now and potentially use it for a future turn. So we go 8k, that forces out at least 2 2ks. So let's see what he does. And I'm explaining him what double attack is here. So people misunderstand what double attack is, so let me explain. Double attack is a single attack that deals 2 life damage, okay? Single attack. And yep, he decides to give me 2 2ks. So now he's down 2 cards in hand. He went from 6 down to 4, just drew 1, now he's at 5. Oh, sorry, I left the arrow on screen there. He's thinking through his turn. And yeah, so looking at my hand, I have at least 1 2k and 3 1ks. So he decides to go for a big 9k swing here. He's going to check the top of his life and move it down to the bottom. Let's pause it right there. So in general, if you ever play against a yellow player that gets to look at someone's life, or they look at their own, and they move a card from the top to the bottom, most likely that card can either be like a beige trigger. If you don't know what that card does, I'd suggest you look it up. I'm not going to pull up that one. Or it could be you're the one who disappears. That also has a good trigger that lets him pitch a card in order to heal 1 life. And there's some other cards that do similar effects, but most likely that's what they're doing when they move a top card down to the bottom like that, because having that insurance at late game when they're low on life is a really good safety net. That's gonna be really important later, I just know. We'll get to that. I decided to take the swing, the life here, sorry, just because it is a big number and I don't want to give up my whole hand. At least I get a 2k out of that, and we draw Kikunojo from the top of my life. So turn 3 for me, I'm at 5 Dawn. And here, I believe, so let's talk about this actually before it happens. With 5 Dawn, I have a few options. I'm gonna go back until I see my hand, perfect. So with 5 Dawn, hopefully this color shows up on screen all right, sorry about that. There are a couple of plays I can do. The first one is I can just go all 10 Dawn, oh sorry, not 10 Dawn, I can go 5 Dawn. 5 Dawn on leader for a 10k double attack. Right. He has no characters on board. I don't have any characters on board, so I'm not feeling too pressured with establishing a board right now. The other option is, if you look at my hand, I see I have a Kikunojo, which is a 4 cost / character, and a Mihawk. So if you remember from game number 1, Mihawk, actually, let me just pull it up on screen. So you should see it on screen, and I'll pull it up on the side for myself here. Mihawk just says, on play, if you have 2 or less characters, play up to 1 Muggy Kingdom type or / attribute character card with the cost of 4 or less, other than Dracula Mihawk from your hand rested. So this Mihawk lets me play out an additional body. So that body could either be the Kikunojo or my Nekomamushi. Kikunojo is just the better option here because 1, no counter. So no counter means that it's just a dead card in hand. But secondly, her effect, Kikunojo's effect, let's just go there. Kikunojo's effect lets me heal when the card is KO'd. It's also 6k body, so that's the one I'd rather pick, but you know, Nekomamushi is also an option. So for 3 Dawn, oh, I erased all my stuff. Let me put that back there. So 5 Dawn. First option is just, I'm gonna skip the math here, just go 10k, double attack. I'll just do ×2. Second option is, you know, 3 Dawn, play out Mihawk, and plus Kiku. And then with the last 2 Dawn, I can just do a 7k double attack. And then the last option is with the Tonoyasu. So Tonoyasu, I can do 2 Dawn, give my leader up to 8k double attack, and then 3 Dawn, go ahead and play out the Mihawk plus Kiku. So I think these are my best 3 plays right now. There's no point of just using 4 Dawn to put down a 4k body or 4 cost body, because that means my leader attack is only at 6k. So of these 3 options, I believe I went with this final one here. And that's because with 8k, I'm forcing another 2k or 2 2ks out of their hand versus a 2k and a 1k. And I still get the benefit of establishing 2 bodies. So yep, those are my plays, and let's see what I do. Thinking about it. Yep. You can see me pull out the Tonoyasu. I have to explain what this card does because a lot of people don't recognize it. Give my leader up to 8k, and then I go 8k double attack. And the reason why I'm swinging first here is to just see what potentially comes out of life. I don't want to put down characters too early because yellow has a lot of triggers that can potentially KO my board. He decides to give me another 2 2Ks, which is insane. And then I just simply tap 3 Dawns and I play the Mihawk into a Kikunojo. He's now up to 6 Dawn, going into his 3rd turn. He's still at 5 life though, which is really bad for me, because that just means I cannot use my leader ability, nor can I activate any triggers. Or, I can't play the trigger bodies that I want. Let's see, he attaches 1 Dawn. I think he goes to leader with that. If I remember correctly, he checks his top life. Okay, I decided to just take that hit. Yeah, so it did go to leader. And then here, he's telling me that he made a misplay and he passes the turn. So I guess part of the reason why I took that hit is because in yellow, if you don't know, yellow involves a lot of life manipulation. And so there are a few yellow cards that can KO characters in play based on the total of both our lives or just my life or just your opponent's life. So by taking that hit, I'm lowering down how much life I have. And so my guess is, you see he attached 1 Dawn. He left out 5 Dawn, so it could have been a Gedatsu. And Gedatsu lets you, let me just pull it up here. And then I'll pull it up on screen. Gedatsu just says, on play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the number of your opponent's life. So if I didn't take that life, I would be at 3. I would be at 3 life here. 3. And so that means my Mihawk could have been KO'd. So by taking that hit, I go down to 2. He can no longer get value out of the Gedatsu. And so from his side, I think it is slightly a mistake to just leave the Dawn up. He could have just played the body out anyways, but he passes the turn. Unfortunate. So now I go up to 7 Dawn. I have a nice board, and I drew a Nami from life. Or did I? Let's see. What did I draw from life? I missed it. Oh, I drew the 8-cost kid. Okay, so yep. Let's go back here. Yep, and I drew the Nami from my deck. So I can't play the Nami here because I don't want to waste the KO potential. So I think I'm just gonna swing some numbers here. Go 8k, double attack to leader, leaving 4 Dawn up, and yeah, I think I'm just playing out body here. He takes it, no trigger. He takes the second hit, reading it, and he decides to trigger. That's the Onami. Lets him KO a 5-cost body. And so he KOs my Kikunojo, which is a little unfortunate. So little tip again is when you're facing it against a yellow player, try to remember to attack with your characters first for this reason. Yellow has a bunch of triggers that can just KO your characters. So if I attacked with Kikunojo first, then potentially I could have got some value there. I think in my mind, I was thinking about attaching 2 Dawn or something like that. It's fine. The nice thing is, as you can see here, is that because I went down 1 character, right? So I went from 2 down to 1 because Kiku got KO'd. I healed 1, and I get to now play out my other Mihawk. Although I am giving up a 2k counter in hand, I'm not feeling too pressured because I am relatively healthy. But doing this lets me just get out another body. And so, why not? So it worked out in the end a little bit. Although, I should have attacked with my other Mihawk first for the exact same reason I just said. Attack first, and then do it. Oh, you know what? Never mind. It wouldn't have worked because I had no Rested Dawn. I take that back. Now I can be attached to, and it swings 6k. It'd be another trigger. He decides not to counter. Thinking about the trigger here. It's another Onami. Crazy. So there goes my Nekomamashi, unfortunately. It's fine though. I still have 3 life, and he's down to 2 now, and I have 2 bodies on board. And then what's nice is that I have my Hody Jones in hand, so next turn I could always try to get the double attack in, and then Hody Jones to finish the game. He plays Charlotte Pudding, which lets him search up top 4 for a Big Mom card. He takes Lin Lin. I believe that was a 7-cost one. Yeah, 7-cost Lin Lin. So he's already used 1 Dawn. Got 7 left. I'm at 3 life. So if he plays, I think he plays the Lin Lin here, if I remember correctly. Come on. Yep, he's gonna tap 7, and he drops the Lin Lin. So 7-cost Lin Lin. I'll throw it up on screen a little bit. It just says, yeah, actually, let's just make sure I don't misspeak here. On play, your opponent chooses one of the following effects. Trash 1 life card from the top of your top card of your opponent's life area. Put 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your life area. So pretty much I either have to lose a life or they gain a life. And I think in this scenario, he's already down, sorry, let me get my pen out here. He's already down to 2 life. If I give him another life, that's another potential trigger. I'm still relatively healthy, right? I have 3 life, and I know that he just played out these 2 cards, which means they can't attack. He's tapped out a Dawn, so he only has 1 more attack coming this turn, and it's going to be a 5k swing, and I have, 5 cards in hand here? So I can counter out of a 5k swing. So I believe I choose to just trash the life, so I don't give him 1. Yep, trash the life. And now, if he swings, I can counter. Either way, I just didn't want to give him more life for more potential triggers. So he does go for the leader swing. Oh, he goes for the Mihawk. Okay. I let that go. You know, 5 into 4, I'm not going to counter that. I don't have any 2Ks in hand, I don't think. If I remember correctly, it's just the neck of Mamushi. Yeah, no 2K counters. I draw a carrot here, but I'm at 9 Dawn. And I could play Hody Jones. So Hody Jones would be 7 Dawn. So 7 Dawn for Hody. This could let me rest his 2 characters, and then I can put maybe 2 Dawn on my leader to go for a 7k double attack. And then Hody Jones, because I played it, I can use Rested Dawn to go onto Mihawk for a 6k attack, and then go for a 8k attack with my Hody Jones. But I think that the problem there is that I don't know if I can win. I believe he has 1, 2, I'm going to say about 4 to 5 cards in hand, which means he can probably counter out of a 7k hit or even the 6k hit. And if I play Hody Jones, I will lose 1 life here, which means on his turn again, he will have a big body here to swing at me, plus Katakuri. So I think what I do instead is kind of like game number 1. I end up playing the kid. Yep, so I do 1 Dawn. I just do 6k double attack at my opponent's leader. He gives me the counter. And then I play 8 cost Eustace Captain Kid. So this will just trash a life outright from the top of his life. And then, yep, I use 2 Dawn to just do another 6k swing. He's down to 3 cards in hand. So he decides to use You're the One Who Should Disappear, which lets him trash 1 card from hand to give a leader character plus 3000 power. So he trashes the Nami and brings it up to 3000. Right here, I almost forget that I can use the Captain Kid's ability. He was kind enough to just let me use that. He reminded me, in fact. He's like, oh, alright. So yeah, so since he's at 2 or less life, I draw 1 and I trash. And I trash the damn punk here. It's not going to get me any value. It's just going to be a dead card in hand. So, thank you, opponent, for letting me do that. Gotta remember your cards, guys. Remember your cards. I have 5 cards in hand, 2 life, no blockers. He's at 10 Dawn. He decides to go for a giant 12k swing at my leader, I believe. Oh, he goes for the kid. Okay, so he goes for the kid. Alright, yeah, I just let that die. Now he only has 6 Dawn, which is good for me, because that means he can't play 8 cost Katakuri. He's not playing Enel to heal. Not Enel. Ace to heal, so I'm kind of glad. I'm like, alright, he's got 6 Dawns left. I got 2 life. I can finish the game next turn. He goes for a 4k swing with his leader. Forgot to tap the card there. That's why I was a little confused. And I just take the hit, because he's not going to attach Dawn to the pudding. And he's just left with 2 cards. Now it's my turn for 10. And this is it. This is where Toneyasu is going to come into play. So let's see what I do here. Okay, actually, before I actually do the play, let's see what I do first. I'm looking at the cards in my hand, and I believe during this turn, I forgot that this card at the bottom could be a You're the One Who Should Disappear. Actually, no, I did think about it, because when I was thinking about what to play, I drew the Onami in hand, which could give my leader Banish. The only problem is that I was like, oh, if I do that, I'm losing out on Toniyasu's value. So let's just see how this goes. So I rest his 2 Dons, I take my last life. And now it's the debate. Do I play the Onami to banish or do I play Tonoyasu? And I do Tonoyasu. I just have to. It's so cool. Plus 3k. And I go 3k or 8k double attack at my opponent's life. He only has 2 cards in hand. He takes it. It's the you're the one who should disappear. So now he can heal 1. He has to trash 1 card from hand. He trashes Onami. He's only got 1. So I go. At this point, it's a numbers game. Okay. I say it's a numbers game, but this could be a Bez trigger. If that's a Bez trigger, I just kind of lose. So I'm praying it's not. And so I do 6k because I know he only has 1 card in hand. If it's a 2k counter, I also lose. So there's a lot of losing scenarios here, actually, now that I think about it. So let's review this play again after it goes through. So he takes it, considering, is it a Bez trigger? It's not. It's a 2k, and then I just attach 1 Don, and I get the win there. But yeah, you can see there, that was probably a not optimal play. I definitely could have lost. If he had a 2k in hand, he could have countered my Mihawk swing, and I would have only had 1 attacker left. If he had a Bez in life, then that would have just stopped my Hody Jones from attacking. So I think the proper play here would have been to actually go 2 Don for Nami, attach Banish to my Yamato. Don't even play out the Hody Jones yet. Just 2 Dons for the Onami, Banish, and throw on the 1k here, or my remaining Don, to make it a 6k double attack Banish. That would have forced, yeah, that would have probably forced out the cards. Let me go back. Let me go back a little bit here. So when he's at this scenario, before he takes the last one, right? So here's the thing. He only had 2 cards in hand, and we know that this is you're the one who should disappear. So if I did the Banish with Nami, right? It'd be a 6k. The double attack doesn't matter, but I'll write it down anyways. Banish. 6k means that he has to either give up 1 card from hand, or he just loses this card. And so if he gives up the 1 card in hand, it has to be at least a 2k. Then I still have Mihawk and Hody Jones for 2 last swings, right? I just know that that would work because... Oh, no. No, it would have been risky either way, actually. Because I could have done 6k first. It would have had to been another 2k in hand. Yeah, it would have to be a 2k in hand, or he has to take the hit. If he takes the hit, he does heal 1. He does heal 1 from the you're the one who should disappear. And then he pitches his last card. So then he's down to 0 cards in hand. And then I only have Hody Jones. So actually, maybe I really did actually just win off the gamble here. Because if that last life was a Bez, then... Actually, it doesn't even matter, because he would have 1 life and I only have 1 attacker left. And I have no blockers in hand, I don't believe. So let's go back. Yeah. Okay. You know what? It worked out. I was in a very losing scenario there. That was a Bez trigger. A lot of things could have gone wrong. But that's probably it for this video. Let me just see. So yeah, we end the match. And that's it. Yep. That's going to do it for this one. A little bit longer than the last one, but at least I'd put this video on ×2. Hopefully that was fine. Anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!